Good day, puppy lovers. I'm Elizabeth Jenn, professional dog groomer since 2010, and we have Heidi with us today. Sit back, relax for some tips and tricks. So tip number one, this little pup, you have to look at the coat to see what the coat, what the condition is. And look at this, we get really close. Let's get really, really close to this coat here. Look at this greasy, greasy coat. Now this coat needs a degreaser, and that's what we're doing now. So the degreaser that I'll be using is the Davis degreaser here. It's the degrease shampoo. What I'm going to do first is wet the coat thoroughly. It doesn't have to be, a long little shower. We just need to wet a bit, and then I'm going to go in and get the degreaser. You'll notice that the degreaser is pretty thick when it's cooler in the space you're in the room you're in, and when it's warmer it just turns to like normal liquid shampoo, but it kind of hardens as it's cooler. So I'm going to give this little one a nice degreasing shampoo. There you go. And that's all I'm going to be using. I'm not going to be using anything afterwards. I'll just do the degreaser and that's it. I like to maybe rinse my hands out before going back in, because you don't want to dirty the shampoo, right? Because I'm going in with my hands, so I prefer doing like that. We're going to give this pup a scrub. And just keep scrubbing thoroughly. If you need more water, just add a little more water to the coat and then rinse out. When it comes to doing the head with the degreaser, you got to be really careful. You don't want any in the eyes, because it says on the bottle, don't get in the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just be really careful and get some only on the sides. I'm not going to use the degreaser in her face, okay? Like between the eyes and at the nose. And I'm just going to add a little more water. And when you're rinsing out, it's a little longer to rinse out. So you have to kind of be patient, and it's not too bad, but you still got some work to do, to rinse out. Okay, so I like to add a little bit of that water there. Try to get the suds going, because they usually say to, let it soak on the skin, the hair for a good, maybe a few minutes, just to let the product do its work. And yeah, so she's been soaking just a little in it. And now I'm going to rinse her out. I'm going to show you how to rinse out the face. Please always be careful when rinsing heads, because you don't want the water in the ears. You don't want the water, like now you don't want it in the eyes. So let's rinse out here. I'm going to use a towel here. As you see, she still has soap on her head, but I'm just going to wipe everything off. Just wiping it all off, because I'm going to be holding her ears down, and I want to be able to control that water, okay? I'm going to hold these ears down. One of them, I'm bringing the head, look, the way I'm doing it, I'm just holding the head back, holding the dog's head back, and I'm holding and just letting the water do its thing. Okay. There. Being careful not to get in the ears. And then you do the same thing on the other side. So I'll just do this side here, same thing. Don't want any water in the eyes. Holding that ear down, wiping again. It might feel like an extra step, but if you're going to save the client from going to the vet, it's worth it, isn't it? So now that the soap is all rinsed out, now she's fine to have some water in the front of her eyes, which I like to do because it softens up all of that debris. And then I can clean out her eyes properly once we get to the table. So if you want, you can use a conditioner afterwards when you're done with the washing, but I'm not going to be using conditioner on her because she gets greasy really quick. So if I added the conditioner, I think that would just, she wouldn't stay clean as long. I might add a light conditioning spray, just a light. Well, not I might, I will. Just for a little bit of the, bringing back a little bit of the hydration into her coat. But since she gets pretty greasy, you don't want to do a lot. So I'm just going to give a very light, and that's all she's going to get. That's all she's going to get. Probably going to wipe some off also. Not even getting any here. Hang on. Let's do in the front. Now you'll see here, look at her snoring here. Okay, bring your head down, honey. She has some debris in her eyes. So because I brought that water on top of, you know, you hold the muzzle down, and they don't get water in their nose. And then I got those eyes nice and wet. So if you look up close here, let's look nice and close. We've got some poopers there. We can get those out. You always got to get those poopers out. And there's a lot. This one has a lot. So I'm gonna, once that's done, look at all of that, guys. All of that. Yeah, that's a lot of poopers. Ugh. Be sure to wipe that off and use some, any disinfectant. I like to use alcohol spray here. Oh, I gotta check her hiney. I always do that. I end up putting my alcohol on it and then forget to check the hiney and then have to spray it again. Okay, now let's cut that. And like I mentioned to you guys, what is it that I mentioned to you guys? I didn't wash this, you know, this area here around her eyes because I didn't want to get any of that degreaser there. I could have easily used another soap also. I could have done that. She has enough space here. My thing is if there's less than a finger's width, like this, I don't wash with the soap in general. But what I'll do instead is I'll just wash with my product here at the table. I use a round, put on some product, and I'll just wash that whole stop area with this product. It works fine. It's all going to be cut off, all that hair. And see that? That's dirty. And as long as you're washing and that's coming off dirty, you're not done your job. So you just keep turning the round around, like just go from one side to the other, flip it around, come to this side, and it'll be clean once this comes out clean. We have a really, really dirty ear here. Look at this. Got to get down in there. Look at that. Now, I don't think she has an infection. It doesn't smell. Often an ear infection will smell really bad. But if there's a lot of, it's kind of brownish reddish, you know, gook that gets down in there. And you can smell it right away that's an infection. So I cleaned out that whole ear. I went in there, cleaned it all out. There are different ways. Some people just like to pour the product in the ear. For some reason, I don't like doing that because I figure if you're pouring water down the ear and the water stays stuck, they could get an infection. And same thing for these products for the ears. They do tend to evaporate faster, I guess, but I don't know. This is how I've been doing it, using the rounds. It's working for me. It's working for the dogs I groom. So I'm going to clean out that other ear. Let's have a look and see what that other ear looks like. You snore a lot. Let's just take this off and let you go bring your head down. We'll look at this ear here. Yeah. That's a dirty ear. Okay. So I'm going to go in and just Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle it in there. Look at that. Okay. Turn the round a bit to have a cleaner spot. Turn it around again, cleaner area. Okay, I'm gonna flip it. Use this side instead. Well, not instead. I mean, just because it was really dirty. Gotta get down deep in there. Sometimes when they have an ear infection and you just squeeze, you just grab the base of the ear and the back of the ear and you're just squeezing like this, you'll hear like there's a sound. And that would mean probably that there's something going on in there. And yep, let's do this again because I'm using it a second round, see? As long as it's not coming out clean. If it's coming out clean, your dog's ear is clean. I don't know, I'm kind of hearing, I don't know if that's my... I'm sorry, I'm just listening. Kind of hearing. I don't know, I'll talk to the client and see if this pup had or, you know, is having an infection, but it doesn't smell. Okay, so I just noticed something for the nails. There's a curling nail. I want to show you exactly how I get that done. We're going to use these small kitty nippers. Get yourself some of these and a really good metal nail file. Sometimes, hang on, come here, hon, come. Sometimes when they curl too much, let's see what's going on. Sometimes when they, look, we're going to go really close here. Okay, see how it's curling way too much? Okay, I might be able to, will I be able to? Sometimes you just can't get in there, okay? I could probably work my way in there, but I want, just for the purpose of the video, I want to show you just a little trick here. What I'll do is I'll just pull and pinch back that pad there, and I'll come in with a smaller hair and do a little clip like that. There's another way too, if ever you're trying to come in and cut and you just can't get that, sorry, out of focus, and you can't get that, this little nipper, you can't get it to touch the, to get behind that nail, then you're going to use a nail file and go between the toe and the nail, and you're going to file just a bit so that you can make some space for your nipper to fit. Now I'm not going to go any further than this. See that dark dot there? That means that the nail is short enough. Now I have a perfect example here. This nail here, look how it's curled completely. And hang on, I'm trying to get this into focus here, guys. Okay, you see that? Right there. Now I can't get in there. I could easily try to come in and snip, but that might pull on the nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slide this right behind that toe and start giving myself some space. Sorry, puppy's moving. Let's hold that nail properly. I'm holding it between my fingers like that so that I can come in. There you go. It won't be long, honey. Just making some space. Okay, so now, hang on. Do I have enough space? I gotta zoom that in. Get in there. Just a little more, maybe. Oh yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Okay, so I found another little area here. See this one here? Now I can't get in there. I can't, I mean, I could probably, but I'm just scared that, let's try it. Sometimes when you're, like if the nail is too close and you have, a, you know, you got more space here in front, that could actually cause the nail to kind of push against this toe and kind of, you know, it could hurt them. But I think she's all good. I think she's all good. I'm gonna just do a little more of this nail filing here. It's tedious work, but we get there. There, now, nice and short. Okay, so this is not really, well, it's a tip. I could give you guys a tip on this part here. So I'm giving her, sorry. I'm going, yeah, her. Sorry, it's Heidi. Heidi, ho. All right, so I'm giving her a 10 comb, adjustment comb here, a 10 millimeter, sorry. And this is a 3/8 inch here. So this is number 2, the blue Andis. Don't know them by heart. I don't feel like learning them by heart, so I'll just keep reading them. So this is just a basic little trick for these kind of coats here, where you're just going to crisscross. So instead of coming just straight down, let's go to one side, bring everything on one side like that, and then come in and do the other, this side, this way here. And the reason why I do like an X pattern like that, see how it makes an X one side to the other side, it's just because it creates a better blended finish on the back of the coat here. So instead of coming in a straight line, look at the finish, how it's just better. It's more blended. So that's my little tip for the clipper comb. Okay, so this little one, as you see, she likes to lay down. She doesn't give me, she doesn't like to stand, and it gives me more of a hard time getting her done. But it is what it is. Sometimes these pups, like as you see, she has a little bit of weight on her, right? So sometimes it's hard for them to be standing. And it might be just because she's tired. It's just the weight. It could be when they're older. Hang on. She's 2017, so she's just a bit older. 17, 18, 19, 21, 45. She's 8. Sorry, I had to count that fast on my fingers. And yeah, she maybe her joints are hurting, She's not the type that's going to want to stand on her back feet. So you gotta, when they're like this, you just gotta kind of work around them. So yeah, you kind of gotta just keep working around them. She probably won't stand, of course, as you see, but what I will do is I don't really need to put that back on her. She's not moving. She just won't move. Try to come in from underneath. You can probably bring your clipper in the other direction also. It just cuts it a bit shorter. And anyway, I always like to cut shorter underneath here because they tend to kind of mat up and get pretty messy under there. Ooh, you are not a light feather. So yeah, and hearing her snore like that, often that comes with pups who have a little more weight on them. See, I can't reach, so I'm going to just finish that off with the scissors. All right, guys, so I'm going to show you a before and after, just right about now. And remember that I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Please consider subscribing. It helps out in the algorithm. It does help. It helps push out my videos. You can also become a member if ever that's something that interests you. Also, I have full grooming videos that are only for the members. Please stick around for the next video that you will see right here on my right with more tips and tricks. And I will see you in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.